It was almost too much to take in my first drive. There's just so many things that have changed, you know, the width of the cab.
New and massive, and
it was like a new toy. I was trying to take it all in.
Now, I presume this is the first time driving the rack and pinion. How was your experience with that?
Has very tight feel, responsive, feels kind of like it goes where you point it instead of waiting for something to happen.
Took very little effort to turn and very short effort to turn.
Hardly no effort to steering at all.
Very impressed with the drive, especially the handling and the steering.
The new steering should be tremendous on it.
Good ride, able to feel the road.
You don't get the telescoping pulsations coming up through the steering wheel.
Huge change in the steering.
Actually going over them rumble strips, why it just went over them, just didn't feel it was there.
Very smooth. When we went over the rumble bars, I didn't think it was that bad at all.
You couldn't hardly feel it.
Yeah. Just smooth as silk.
Especially right now on the turns, I was really amazed how tight the steering is on it. So, you know, you hear so much about the rack and pinion, but until you actually drive it, I was pretty impressed.
It's a very smooth and responsive truck. I was very impressed with it.
The rack and pinion steering is sure a step up, and that's something that's good for the industry.
You can feel the road. It's going to become the industry standard, I suspect.
One of the first things you notice is how clean the engines run. You don't smell the diesel fumes, you don't see the smoke, and the engines are extremely quiet.
It's amazing. It's real quiet inside the cab, and the improvements Freightliner has been made in the last few years is real good.
Cab looks good. It's got good amenities in it and quiet. No, very little engine noise.
Seems to be quieter than a Volvo.
The truck is real quiet. We had a nice conversation as we were driving around.
We could communicate and talk and hear each other real well.
And we were able to speak normal tones, and we're able to hear each other very quiet inside.
Much improvement on the quiet cab.
Blower motor was very quiet, even on high.
What was the first impression when you got in the truck?
First impression was the door. Huge change in the door. No rattles, solid door when it's shut. And like the guy said, sound like a Mercedes.
The other thing that I was impressed with is the quality. The improvements are fantastic, and the easy maintenance.
The maintenance-wise, they improve a lot, so it's going to be good for the mechanics when they work in this truck.
So the breakaway mirror, I think, is definitely going to cut down on some of the repair cost issues.
The ability for serviceability and to easily take care of that truck, maintain it.
But it's fantastic, and the easy maintenance where you can get in at it, this is what it's all about.
The accessibility of the engine and removing batteries, replacing bumpers, things like that. It looks like it's going to be a giant step in our favor. That's going to allow us to have a lower cost per mile for maintenance and operation on the vehicle.
As you climb in, open the door, I mean, just a good feeling of solid.
Did not see any safety issues at all.
Number one is safety, and I asked the driver quite a bit about the visibility and the fact of the mirrors being on the front of the cab, and he liked it very, very much.
I like the low mount mirror and the sturdiness of it, the ability to be able to see.
The visibility out of that truck's amazing.
Very driver friendly.
I just found that I had great visibility in terms of using mirrors for a secondary vision system.
Gives a driver a feeling of knowing what's going on.
Not only is it a good truck quality-wise, but it looks good.
It's a beautiful looking truck. Aerodynamics is very good.
It seemed like it's well designed.
Honestly, I was impressed with the look of it.
Looks real nice from a driver's perspective. That's a big item.
Well, I think they look great, but more importantly, they're very functional.
Little things that we don't really think about, but once you get behind the wheel, really become big issues.
Comfortable seating position, excellent visibility to the gauges.
Ergonomically designed dash.
Everything's real handy, and the steering wheel with the controls integrated in the steering wheel, that's a great feature.
The switches and stuff seem to be very well laid out.
Well, I really enjoyed just the whole range of tilt and telescopic that the wheel offered.
They're going to find it a lot easier to operate because everything's on the steering wheel.
The cruise control, the J-brake, is really, really good, real nice.
It's got a lot of creature comforts that I think people will enjoy.
You guys put a lot of effort into driver comfort.
It's a very friendly truck, I think, for the drivers, so we're going to like her.
Now, let's be honest, drivers are getting larger and larger these days. Got a couple big boys on the squad?
Oh, yeah. Big seat, comfortable seat, You know, drivers are sort of big in some cases, and the little guy, you know, he'll be all right in it too.
Seems like there's plenty of belly room, and as we heard initially this morning, they need a lot of belly room. The guys are getting bigger and bigger.
I like the roominess, the big seat.
We've got some wide-body drivers that would really appreciate that.
For us larger guys, it means everything.
Well, the door's pretty darn big. It's easy to get in and out of the truck.
There's no fighting to get in and out of the truck.
Handles are great, big steps. And that's a big part of it, you know, trying to climb in and climb out makes a big difference.
A lot of room. Amazing how you got the driver and the passenger so far apart.
Probably 2 feet between the two seats. You can put a suitcase in there if you wanted to. Cooler, whatever. Yeah, there's plenty of room.
Bigger is always better, I think, in a truck.
The way the truck was set up was very nice.
It's very solid, very nice.
Very nice ride.
It's awesome. It's a great riding truck. Loved it.
I was a little skeptical, but boy, I'll tell you, within the first couple hundred feet, it's very impressive.
Tremendous night and day difference, and it's not something that you can really describe. You have to get out and experience it, really do it.
Is this something that your drivers are going to want to drive?
Absolutely.
Oh, they're going to love it.
Oh, it's great. It truly is like a car.
I drove a new GMC pickup up here yesterday, and it drives just as good as that. So, I mean, you know, it's a nice truck.
I think it feels a little bit more like a home.
I think it's everything you guys said it was.
Everything they're telling me is true.
I think it's sure a step up.
Should be better than what's on the market today.
Now you're saying Volvo's kind of more of a premium truck in your fleet. Do you think the Cascadia might replace that position within your fleet?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I have more fun out driving it than being in the office.
Now, Lloyd, is this a truck that you'd be proud to have your drivers drive around?
Oh, yes, sure would.
That'll be the next truck that we buy.
Now let me ask you the million-dollar question. Is this something that you'd be proud to have your drivers drive around?
I think this is something that our drivers would fight for.